Wow, what an impressive New York. There is nothing below me. My head is spinning right now.
Are you serious? Maybe you stay here? No?
Here it is, look! The townhouse where Sarah Jessica Parker lived. Hello guys, you're watching Max's and Olya's channel. This is our family travel blog, Look Around.
And we came to the USA.
In this video, we'll show you the city of freedom and democracy. The city where tens of nationalities live together. People from different religions and with various views on life, connected by one thing, by New York.
We'll see how this city lives in its best places.
Are you ready?
Look around New York!
Well, hello, the city of yellow taxis, of skyscrapers holding the sky, the city of big money, and thousands of opportunities.
We'll start seeing New York from one of the most powerful symbols of the city, the Statue of Liberty. But it's not easy to get to it. It is located on the Liberty Island. Of course, there are tourist cutters going there, but the prices are expensive, starting from $25 a person. Moreover, not all boats stop on this island. Many of them sail past. However, there is a free option, and we will try our best to test it.
We're looking for the ferry to Staten Island. It's public transport, works 24/7, and sets off every 20-30 minutes. Interestingly, it's free for anyone. Guessing from the queue before the terminal, it's quite popular.
So, we're boarding the ferry. It's gigantic, to be honest. I'm shocked. I was just thinking how all the people will get in, and it's really completely free of charge.
It has been free since 1997, although free is a relative term. It's financed from the locals' taxes. The route connects two important boroughs, Manhattan and Staten Island. Many people live in Staten Island and work in Manhattan, so this route is not recommended in workdays, during peak hours, when everyone is going for work or from it, because it is stuffed. You can see the locals with naked eye. They're simply sitting there, while the tourists are at the windows, waiting for the Statue of Liberty.
Here it is, look. It's so small, really? I thought it would be bigger. It's 93 meters from the pedestal to the tip of the torch. And the island is so small, so tiny. The Statue of Liberty is a French gift dedicated to 100 years of the American Revolution. It immediately became one of the most famous symbols of the USA. By the way, there is a view platform in the statue's crown. It has a great view over New York, but the places are very limited, as the head is not that big as it may seem. So the tickets are sold out a month in advance.
If you're lucky enough, the ticket is $25, excluding the transportation costs.
Do you see this ship? It is the one for $25, and ours is free.
But you can't fully enjoy the view behind a window, so let's go to the deck.
Turns out you can go outside. Just look at this panoramic view. So cool. I'm so excited.
Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far.
The ferry takes 25 minutes, so there's time to fully enjoy New York's skylines.
How cool New York looks from here. It gives a great impression of the city.
If you think that our ferry adventure stops here, it's not. In order not to lose time here at Staten Island, we quickly boarded the next one.
We made it!
Let's go back to Manhattan.
It's so cool. There's also an outside deck.
Turns out the ferries do differ a bit, so I enjoyed the trip in both directions.
Are you serious? I was just standing here and the pigeon flew at me. Simply at me. Say, dude, raise your arm for me. I will land on it. Now what? Is it comfy? Warm? I'm like that woman, as you know, from Home Alone, in the Central Park. Is that all? Okay. I wanted to say this text a bit differently, but now I need to say it to the pigeon. Now we're heading from the central part of New York, the Manhattan Island, to its most populated area, which is called Brooklyn. To see its biggest attraction, the Brooklyn Bridge, not sure if it's seen from here or not. You can walk through it by foot. There's an amazing view from it. And we're going or flying there in 3.
Ah, Max, it's New York's Chestnut.
Well, there you are. Damn, he doesn't want to get off at all. Maybe you stay here? No?
You're next.
Our team got smaller, so only the 2 of us are going to the Brooklyn Bridge. There's a pedestrian zone right in the middle, which, in practice, creates a large view platform.
Only now I can understand why everyone is so recommending to walk through the Brooklyn Bridge. It has a simply incredible view over Manhattan. Just unbelievable.
You can even see the Statue of Liberty from here. It's always crowded, and someone always asks you to take a photo of them.
A minute of engineering marvel from me. When this bridge was built, it became the biggest suspension bridge in the world. It was also the first with metal wiring. Although it's nearly 200 years old, when it was under reconstruction, these cables turned out to be in nearly perfect state. It was a real investment.
The building process was both heroic, due to the complexity of tasks never done before, and tragic, as 27 workers died building it. The majority died because of the bends.
The main reason is that the workers had to dig down just below the water, on big depths. Due to the big difference in pressure, after the ascension, their blood simply boiled. It was later called the caisson's disease. The architects also suffered greatly. The author got a trauma during the building process and died. His son was paralyzed because of the caisson's disease. And after all this, the bridge was completed by the son's wife, so they learned the engineering through all these problems.
This is the difficult history of the bridge. By the way, its end is marked by this sign. Welcome to Brooklyn.
We came to Brooklyn. It's the most populated place in New York. It was a separate city a long time ago. Now many immigrants live here, specifically Ukrainians, Poles, Jews. The latter have their own Jewish Orthodox area, with their own rules and even the police.
But we'll not go there, as we want to show you another cult place in Brooklyn, in Dumbo. Here it is, Washington Street with a view over the Manhattan Bridge.
This place, this street, got featured in many Hollywood films.
In Brooklyn 99 series, Once Upon a Time in America with Robert De Niro, Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino, and more than 30 other films.
And after this, there's bunches of people coming here to check in, to make a selfie or a photo in front of this bridge.
But it turns out that the street is not pedestrian.
No, it's just a regular street.
I don't envy people living here. It seems this place is never being quiet.
So now it's my favorite part. We're going to see the city from up above. As you can see, New York doesn't have problems with heights. There are tens of viewing platforms on the roofs of many skyscrapers across the city. But we chose the highest one. And we're going, come here, I'll show you. It's the Hudson Yards skyscraper, and the platform is on the floor 100. So cool!
The entrance is $40 if buying online and $42 at the place. It's not cheap, but it's the price for every platform in New York.
Some information for you. The lift goes up to the floor 100 in just 52 seconds. Half a second per floor, the ears get clogged.
Here it is, the floor 100. But this viewing platform seemed the best to me because it is open air.
Wow, what an impressive New York.
How cool is this?
Can you imagine? This is a hanging platform. There's nothing below. And this is some kind of extreme for me. But the view is just incredible. New York from my dreams. Here you can understand the scale of New York. It's gigantic.
Only here on the floor 100, on the height 300 meters, you can feel the mighty energy of this city.
Here, as you can see, is the most popular place. The glass floor. You probably can't see it because there's lots of people. But here it is. Whoa, whoa. Max, give me your hand. Why? I'm always so scared by these floors. Mamma mia. New York is below me. So cool. My head is spinning. Oh, great job.
It's an additional feature of this platform. You can hang above the edge just for $180. I wouldn't do such things even for money. Comment, would you?
The panorama over Hudson is so great. Look, fantastic. By the way, I am reminded of a film called Sully, Miracle on the Hudson, when a pilot made an emergency landing on the Hudson River. The film is great. Watch it.
It's all based on real events.
There are planes overhead. Flying so low, they seem like going straight into buildings, knocking the whole place up.
After being in Ukraine, it's so hard to get used to things flying over you. Planes, helicopters. New York's sky is as jammed as is the city. There was a movie scene on the platform. The police helicopters flew closer to the building where the tourists were taking pictures. The cops waved at us and flew away. This is all you need to know about the New Yorkers. They are very easygoing, like to joke around and make compliments, just to the strangers outside. I like it so much. Let's go back to the platform.
This is the most Instagram-like place on this platform. To get here, You have to stand in line, which took us 15 minutes.
Here's the line.
The time is running out. 2 minutes here to show you everything. Wow, Max, it's just a bit below.
There's also a great view from the stairs, a floor above. Also, the Hudson Yards has access to one of the most unique parks. It is uniquely above the ground. The Highline Park is built on the old freight railway, which is not used now. It looks greener and more beautiful during springs and summers. But this park is also an art space, so it's worth visiting in any season. I found another option for a viewing platform, free of charge. It's on the 21st floor of the AC Hotel New York. It's a lounge bar with an open terrace. This place is pricey, but coming here for a coffee in the decorations of New York is a great idea. The choice of viewing platforms is so vast, there's no other place like this. You can ascend the Rockefeller Center, the Empire State Building, and even to the tallest building in New York, One World Trade Center.
In general, the World Trade Center is a very sad place. It's infamous because of the tragedy of 9/11. There were the Twin Towers, which were the highest buildings in the world in due course. And then the terrorist attack took nearly 3,000 lives.
By the way, the attack ruined not just the towers, which had 110 floors each. 6 other buildings got damaged. Nearly every one of them got demolished later. But in their place, there are new skyscrapers standing, including the biggest building in New York and the Western Hemisphere One World Trade Center, 541 meters. It also has a viewing platform. In the place of the Twin Towers Ground Zero, there is a memorial of 9/11.
Actually, this monument is gigantic. It seems smaller on the photos. This project was called Reflecting Absence. You will now understand why. These memorials are like the phantoms of the Twin Towers. They were built along the contour of former towers, the endless water cascades disappearing there in the center. Symbolizes thousands of lives that also disappeared. The sadness of this metaphor.
The parapets have the names of each victim on it.
It's so scary to see the planes flying over this place so low. I understand it was so long ago, but it's still unsettling. But there is also a positive story. See this tree? It was growing beside the northern tower when it was completely covered by debris. Damaged very hard, and it was under the rubble for almost a year. But it was later got up, transported to another place, taken care of. After this place was reconstructed, it was transported here again. Now it's part of the memorial and a symbol of the American perseverance.
The most important question during these trips is what to eat such an interesting local and in traditional style. New York is very easy in this regard. There are many fast food trucks on the streets where you can buy everything, including everything baked and hot dogs to rice with chicken and vegetables. We'll start exploring New York's cuisine from hot dogs. How can you be in America and not try a real American hot dog? By the way, I had seen a place in one American blog where there are the best hot dogs in New York called Billy's Hot Dog.
Hi.
Hello.
Are you Billy?
Yes.
It's true that you have the best hot dogs in New York.
That's what they say. I don't know. You gotta test it. And you
Yeah?
tell me.
Okay.
So here's the recipe of a real New York hot dog. A bun, a sausage, ketchup, mustard, something that looks like boiled cabbage, something that looks like pickles, and the price is $2.
Thank you very much. Bye.
So let's try this real American hot dog. By the way, Billy gave me this free water after hearing I'm from Ukraine. I didn't understand all the ingredients, but we must try it. It's tasty.
Those pickles are too sour as well as cabbage, so better take a classic one. Simply bun, sausage, and sauces.
The portion is small, but agree, $2 is very cheap price for New York City.
For your information, the neighboring trucks have it starting from $5. So ask the price before ordering. Pizza is also very popular in New York. There is a cult of pizza. It is sold on every corner, even by slices. The price starts from $1, and you really can get full on that. But if you want to eat something normal, you don't really have to go to a restaurant. Just remember this kiosk. It won't let you starve in Manhattan. Just Google Royal Grill Halal Food. This fast food is close to Times Square.
Just look at this gigantic portion for $8. 2 people can get full from that. It is quite heavy. It's half a kilo. There's a salad with cabbage and tomato, rice, chicken, and everything is covered with sauce. This is some kind of a fat bomb, but at least we will not remain hungry. Let's try it. It's not that bad. The chicken is great. The rice is spicy, but the sauce is too much. I'm not used to that. For $8, it's more than enough to get full.
Now we're heading to one of the most well-known places on the planet. It's famous for its vibrant illumination and incredible amounts of advertising and people. It's Times Square, New York's main square, one of the most famous places in the USA. I feel as if I had been put into a Christmas tree or transformed into a sand particle, put in the bucket with Christmas lights, and stirred me up again and again, again and again. For your interest, the level of popularity of this place is incredible. In a year, it is visited by over 40 million people all around the world. It's like the whole of Ukraine, coming to one place in 1 year.
It's better to come here at 2 a.m., as there are less people, but still as light as the day. The billboards sometimes reach up to the 40th floor.
In fact, it is the only place in the world where the city is demanding from the buildings, with no option to refuse, to put billboards on its facades by law.
The prices are just cosmic, starting with $5,000 for a day's program. The video will be featured for a day almost every 15 minutes, as it is said on the American websites. So if you decided to sell your garage, you know how much you have to spend it in times.
Square. Where does the name come from? 100 years ago, in 1904, a skyscraper was built here called Times Building. It was a huge skyscraper, 25 floors. Of course, now we have buildings like this everywhere. Even you may see many of these around. 100 years ago, it was a very high skyscraper. At that time, the editorial office of the New York Times moved in, so the square was named Times Square. Also at that time, the first advertisement appeared here.
But let's figure out what else is there, apart from the ads. Firstly, it's the flag booth. Everyone is taking pictures nearby, but not everyone knows that it's the main recruiting station of the city. Another booth is the office of NYPD, the main police department of New York. To serve here is a great pride. The third point of interest are the stairs to nowhere.
It's really surprising that these stairs do not lead anywhere, but they ascend to 6 meters above the square. So you can take a photo from here if you like it, or just see Times Square from a little above.
The main feature of Times Square, apart from the ads, are the street performers. Everyone is dancing, doing catwalks,
You want to receive the goodness of God, you gotta be born of God. Hands of an angry God, for God is angry with the wicked.
and self-expressing. They say it's so many of performers here because the Broadway is nearby. People are joking that those at Times Square are failed artists of the Broadway theaters.
Max, these toys seem to plan something ill of you. I adore the theater, so the Broadway was the most anticipated place. For me, in New York, this is an area with tens of theaters playing world's best theatrical masterpieces. A week ago, I started looking for the tickets. By the way, you can buy tickets online on the Broadway's official website, broadway.com. So, all the best plays here were nearly sold out, and the rest were only for random sits, starting from $150. But I also Googled some life hacks and found something. So, let's hope for the best. Maybe today we can get to a real Broadway theater.
Currently, there are nearly 40 different theaters on the Broadway. The tickets are starting from $60 per ticket. The most famous plays, like The Phantom of the Opera playing since 1987, 35 years, are sold out 3 months in advance.
By the way, The Phantom of the Opera became one of the most profitable events of all times. It was played in 30 countries, and over 150 million people saw it. It's only me who hasn't seen it yet. I want it so much, so we'll try every method possible on the Broadway to get to see it.
With the Broadway's popularity, there are theaters called Off-Broadway and Off-Off-Broadway. These theaters aren't really part of the Broadway. They are smaller, not so posh, can be quite amateur. But the tickets are far less expensive. The Off-Off-Broadway is an absolute avant-garde. They are often completely free, only accepting donations. But be ready that they are played in flats or very small apartments where only a dozen of people can get in.
Let's talk the life hacks. On Times Square, just below the red stairs, there are tickets offices. You can get tickets for today's shows in half a price. How it works? There's a stand showing which plays still have tickets left. It's not the season, so it's practically empty. During the summer, you can stand in lines for an hour or even 2.
Under the stand, there are trained people who can give you advice about the plays. I wanted to start with the classics, still gathering big crowds. The Phantom of the Opera, but it's not in the schedule today. However, this man recommended me another good play.
To realize the agayotage on the Broadway, the tickets are also being auctioned off. You can pay $20 to have a small possibility of winning a ticket. But I know a better method. There are standing tickets where you watch the plays on your feet. The tickets are starting from $25, which is a great price for the Broadway. And now we will try to get at least one.
The standing tickets are sold off an hour before the play starts. We'll try to take tickets to Hamilton. It's a show that in 2015 started on Off-Broadway, but was so popular that a year later it became official. It still is gathering big crowds.
Hey, little lucky lady, 2 for tonight at 8, 7. Okay, we open up in half an hour.
Oh, thank you very much.
These are tickets to the Hamilton. People are standing in lines for hours to get these tickets, and we just came here. They said we're lucky to be the first ones to get these standing tickets.
Hamilton is playing in the Richard Rodgers Theatre, which is almost 100 years old. You can see the scale only on the balcony. There are 1,400 seats.
So here they are, the standing tickets places on the Broadway show. A wooden handrail which you can lean on to not get tired. Honestly, the stage is visible just fine. Maybe if something is high up the stage, the balcony is a bit in the way. By the way, here's the program of the Hamilton. Let's see the show.
Before the show, who is that Hamilton? In short, he's an American politician of the Revolutionary period. He's considered one of the founding fathers of the USA. He's on the $10 bill.
At this time, please silence all cell phones and other electronic devices.
You can't film on the Broadway, but we wanted to show you just a snippet for you to understand how it all works.
Listen, it's simply incredible. Now I can understand the Broadway's worth and its popularity. And why the tickets are so expensive here. It's simple on the next level. I haven't seen anything like it. The sound, the lighting, the orchestra, the actors, the costumes, the makeup, everything is simply the highest level. I was amazed by it the whole show. On one breath, if you're ever in New York or if you love the theater, don't worry to spend $50 or $100 because it's memories for life.
I love Broadway so much that the next day we did manage to see the Phantom. The tickets were also standing, but even cheaper, $28. The Phantom of the Opera is playing in the Majestic Theatre. It's so great. The special effects were just fascinating. Now it's definitely good night to you. Tomorrow will be a rich day. Now, good morning, New York.
You know how to start the morning New York style? Correct! By running or cycling around the Central Park. It's clearly the most famous park in the world. In a year, almost 30 million people come through here. Yeah, Times Square is a bit more crowded. This park was a film set for over 250 movies that people love. Home Alone, Spider-Man, Friends. So come on, let's go in here. Let's see how things are arranged here.
Central Park is the lungs of New York. The most shocking thing about it that it's completely man-made. Tens of thousands of trees, dozens of ponds and waterfalls. Everything created by human hands. The park is so gigantic that you can get lost in it. It's 4 kilometers long and 800 meters wide. The area is bigger than Monaco. And there's so much stuff that you need an instruction.
But please, keep calm. Don't worry, I'll tell you. Which locations in Central Park are must-see? And the first location is these rocks, overlooking the glass towers of New York and an ice rink. It feels like a movie image. Everything looks somehow unreal. It's like a dream.
You can find this location nearby the zoo. Yes, there is a zoo in Central Park, but it's not the most interesting place in here.
It is the most famous square in Central Park, called the Bethesda Terrace. Lots of concerts, open air, are held in here. See, there's even a beautiful fountain, although it's not working now because of the season.
Oh, Chestnut. Hello, Chestnut!
This square consists of two levels. The lower one doesn't feel like part of the park at all.
It feels like I'm in a museum. It doesn't look like a park at all. These columns, arches.
This place also has perfect acoustics, so it's so loved by street musicians.
There's also a castle inside the park. Belvedere Castle. It was created in 1858. No counts lived there. It's a folly, acting as a surprise for tourists who decided to go so deep into the park. And this castle does have its surprises. Firstly, it's located on higher grounds. There are overviews on the birds and squirrels. And that is not all. You can go to the top of the castle, absolutely for free. Not many tourists know about this. By the way, you can see a huge pond with hundreds of ducks, as well as the most well-known lawn in Central Park, Great Lawn. In the summer, there's no place to stand, as many people come there to celebrate birthdays, proposals, or just chill out. And now it's completely empty. During winters, it's closed.
The squirrels are permanent residents of Central Park, and they don't look like our squirrels. They are gray and big. The joggers and cyclists are also permanent here.
It feels like the most of New York is running through here. Each one. You almost want to jog as well.
Central Park does inspire to move forward and do sports. It's full of bike lanes, sport places. There are a lot of sports grounds here. This place is full of energy.
You know, Central Park is like an oasis inside these large skyscrapers, which is charging you up, relax you, but motivates you in other way. Because when you see this wonder, so many people that jogging and doing sports, you want to do it yourself. Be like them. And you know what I thought? We have our own Central Park in Kyiv, the Trukhanev Island. If it ever gets taken care of, you know, properly, with love, it can become like Central Park, or maybe even better.
Black, white too, no turn this to no controversy. It's my boo. I can make $250,000 off a haiku, and I can make another quarter off it times two. If it's money on the table, I'll be on it like Bobby or Epic. You peep the aesthetic, it's hard to forget it.
New York is a very charismatic city. Every corner here is an ideal decoration for movies. Colossal amount of New York's places is featured in movies. There are many tourists who come here on a pilgrimage to see these movie places.
Walking the streets, you'll always stumble on some shootings. You can even see the celebrities.
No, I'm in one of the most filmed places in New York, West Village. There are no skyscrapers, just many 2-3-story townhouses with these fire escape stairs. A minimum of 2 cult series were filmed here. One of them is this building on the corner of the street. The characters from Friends lived here. I have goosebumps saying this. By the way, it's our Ukrainian flag on the tree. Joey, come out!
Even if you're not a movie lover, I recommend having a walk here to enjoy these townhouses. They are very photogenic. This place has one of the most famous townhouses.
Oh my my God, hold me still, I have double goosebumps. Firstly, we're at the townhouse where Sarah Jessica Parker lived. The fans of Sex and the City will understand me. Secondly, there's a Ukrainian flag and a sign, "We are with Ukraine." So, Carrie had a small apartment. In reality, it's a 4-story townhouse with the area of 387 square meters. It has 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, its own backyard. In 2012, it was bought by an anonymous person for a cosmic $10 million. In addition to buying nice housing in New York, they also acquired thousands of fans coming here to take photos on Carrie's porch, and no personal life.
New York is one big decoration. There's no sense of visiting it for the first time. You saw most of the places in movies. New York is good in any weather. Just be ready for it to change any minute.
In addition to the movie topic, there's a bit of magic waiting. Not a bit, much, much more magic, as we're going to a store. But not just a store, it's the portal in the world of Hogwarts. It's the biggest specialized Harry Potter store. Opened by Warner Bros. Studio, here it is. Look at this huge phoenix. As I can understand, that girl with a wand controls it.
I thought this place is more children-oriented, but there are mostly adults inside.
You doesn't feel like an usual store. You have a feeling like you are inside the world of Harry Potter. So much details here. Such a specific movie atmosphere.
The store has 2 floors. Every room is like from the movies. There are interactive experiences, photo zones. It's also a museum of some sort.
You can find a prop that was shooted in Harry Potter film. This wand is from the Deathly Hallows. Harry used it in the movie.
Here's another prop from the movie, Golden Snitch.
This is the firebolt, which was in the Half-Blood Prince. Sirius Black gifted it to Harry after he broke his old broomstick. Nimbus 2000, that's it.
The entrance is free, but you can also pay for a VR tour.
You can also buy a unique wand from Harry Potter. Hi Harry, by the way. Here is Harry's wand, Voldemort's wand, Sirius Black's wand. You can ask store to make your name engraved on it.
The prices are expensive. The wands start from $39.
There's also a candy shop here and a bar serving butterbeer, so beloved in Hogwarts.
Although a cup of butterbeer is $12. You can have dinner for the money.
By the way, this beer is non-alcohol. That is, it is not beer at all. It's more of a dessert. Cool! It's like ice cream. Added to soda, added some caramel. Cool! Here you have it, butterbeer. Very tasty.
Every fan of Harry Potter or any fantasy fan is strongly advised to come to this place. It's really magical in here.
Did you know there is a cableway in New York? I was surprised by the fact it leads to the Roosevelt Island, located between Manhattan and Long Island. It's not a tourist attraction, but just locals transport. The price here is only $2.75, like the New York subway, but the way must be amazing.
By the way, we didn't talk much about the subway, although we used it many times here. It's not that aesthetic inside. Far from our Golden Gate station, the Americans prized the functionality over the beauty. We were warned that the New York subway is very convoluted, but we figured it out very fast. And we didn't shy from asking people where to go. To ride it, you have to buy this Metro card for $1 and top it up for how much you need. One ride is $2.75. Back to the cableway.
So pretty.
It gets you to the island in just 4 minutes. The Roosevelt Island is not that big. You can freely walk it around, but there are not many places to see here.
The best things here is the panorama over Manhattan. You can see the concrete jungles from here.
See the beautiful world around, wanna see it now.
The island wasn't crowded at all. It was an amazing feeling, being inside a gigantic megapolis and having a moment alone with it.
Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air.
There's something scary on the island. The abandoned hospital, made in 1856, smallpox patients were admitted here, which was very infectious back then. For more than 70 years, the building is abandoned. We came past the hospital to the Roosevelt Park. It was very clean and minimalistic. At the end of the park, there was a jackpot.
This place is just magical. Here you feel like watching New York from a side. You hear its sounds from afar, but it's so calm in here. Some stone island right there with gulls on it. The cormorants are there as well. The wild nature connected with this noisy megapolis. You know, you either love New York from the first sight or hate it. We fell in love with this city. New York is so imperfect, it's charmful.
Thank you all for supporting us. If you click like, subscribe, and leave a comment that you liked this episode, you will make a big contribution to the development of our channel.
We love you.
Bye-bye.